today we're in San Francisco, California for the Oracle OpenWorld conference. Let's go talk to a few executives from Oracle. Good morning, Rebekah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Welcome to San Francisco.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Hey, Marc, how are you?
I'm great.
How do you feel now that the tables have been turned as not the host as the attendee?
It'll be interesting. I'll do my best.
So selective adoption, I think, is a really compelling and really valuable capability that's unique to PeopleSoft customers. It enables customers to essentially choose any update, any fix, any point that they want their environment to be at. So really, unlike any on-premise solution out there, and even unlike any cloud solution out there, selective adoption puts all the power and all the choice into the hands of the customer in terms of what adds value to them. So they can, once they get to release 9.2, they can identify within the products that they're running what components of that software, what functional capabilities, what updates, what fixes are necessary for them to operate. And they can focus their resources, their energy on maintaining their environment at that level and deploying new capabilities based on what adds value to them, rather than their activities being driven by what we as a vendor produce, or in the case of a cloud provider, what level it puts them at. They really have all the choice at their disposal.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the cornerstones of selective adoption. And if you put it in the context of the historic model of changing your enterprise applications, it was very IT driven. It was we're going to minimize our impact to the organization and to the applications for as long as we can to minimize costs. My analogy actually is always the mousetrap, and this is the story I tell. It's if you've ever set a mousetrap in your life, you don't actually set it where you want to catch the mouse. You pull back that spring and you put the bait on it and you set it, and then you have to slowly, gently put it into place, and once you get it there, you don't ever want to touch it again. And that's how enterprise applications were pre-selective adoption. What that meant to the end users was when they wanted something, for example, in this analogy, the mousetrap moved or a new feature added, no way, that's not going to happen. Or you have to wait till the next upgrade, and that could be years away. Yeah. So now with selective adoptions, the end users in the line of business have a tremendous amount of input. Their priorities can be heard, and instead of the response being, we can address that business need and get you that new functionality in a couple of years, it could be a matter of months now, and that really changes the game and really can accelerate the value to the organization.
I think it really depends on what the business drivers are for the customer and what's the right solution for them, because there are real advantages to cloud. I think for PeopleSoft, particularly if you are a customer that has a PeopleSoft implementation, you want to expand your footprint, or even net new customers, it's a more familiar, it's a more traditional sort of environment, and so it might be more comfortable, whereas cloud in some cases sort of stretches the boundaries of what customers are used to kind of jump all into something different can be a little bit overwhelming. So PeopleSoft is a more familiar way of operating your environment, but a lot of the investments that we've made in things like selective adoption and the PeopleSoft Update Manager and the PeopleSoft Cloud Architecture enables you to get a lot of the operational cost savings using virtualization, and just the way that you deploy and maintain the environment in a lot of ways can be somewhat analogous to what you can achieve with a cloud provider, but in that more traditional environment where you have your solution, in-house, you have control of what you're doing, you determine the timing, what you take, et cetera.
I would be the first to admit, selective adoption, as a lot of things we're doing on PeopleSoft and the investments and the innovations, are taking a page out of the cloud applications playbook, so to speak. Early when software as a service came out, one of the big drivers was we get updates on a very frequent basis. Now there's kind of different ways to achieve that, and PeopleSoft's method is the selective adoption. So we are delivering features and functions continuously. The wrinkle is, and kind of the compare and the contrast is, well, yes, you're getting frequent updates to your applications, but you still, with PeopleSoft selective adoption, have that control. And control is the big watchword, and that I don't want to be dictated to when I'm getting an update as you are with a software as a service update. It's, we've got something else going on. We are going through mergers and acquisition. We are divesting a company. We are going through open enrollment. A vendor saying update number X is here, you're going to take it, like it or lump it, doesn't work in those situations. What selective adoption it does, it can be postponed for a quarter, a month, a year, for as long as the customer needs to postpone it. It's always there when they want it.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time here today. We'll connect and go from there.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thanks, you too. It's great to be here.
Thank you.